Hi guys, it's Dave again. Recently I had dinner with a couple coworkers and got into an interesting conversation. And what it was about was jobs we had while in high school or college or grad school. And some of them were a little bit different, strange, weird, unusual, whatever you want to call it. And it brought back memories that I'd had of other conversations in the past. I've met some people with some pretty strange jobs in the past. I knew a guy who in college, during the summer breaks, his job was to work for the highway department in his local town. And what he did, he sat at intersections all day with one of those little clickers, counting how many cars go through each intersection. Then I had met a guy who paid for college by working at a brewery, or at a bottling plant for a brewery. And what he did all day, or all evening long in this case, was sit there and watch beer bottles go by all day long, checking to see if the labels were on right side up or not. Now, one of the people that I had dinner with, and who I had this conversation with, she actually paid her way through college working for an aquarium. Now, it's one of these big aquariums where everyone goes, all the tourists and all that. And they required someone with a science degree, or seeking a science degree, to work on the weekends as a part-time job, going around and checking all the different tanks for any fish or any type of sea life that might have died. And what she had to do basically was go around and check for dead fish, take them out, and store them so that the regular staff could see them on the following Monday. So there's a lot of jobs people have worked to pay their way through school or to give them spending money when they were in high school or whatever. I had a lot of jobs growing up. I started working, paper route and little things like that. And as I got into high school and got a car, then there were other jobs. I flipped burgers for one of the big burger barn chains. I made pizzas. I did that while I was in grad school, actually. I was the night manager for a donut shop, where we actually made the donuts. Now, most of those jobs aren't weird. They're your standard run-of-the-mill jobs. I guess about the strangest job I ever had was I worked for a cheese shop in the local mall back in Virginia, in the town I lived in. And I took 40-pound blocks of cheese, and I'd cut those down to make 12-ounce either cheese balls or cheese logs. So cut the cheese and then either roll it out to a log or roll it into a ball, and then roll it in nuts and shove it in a box, basically. It's not a really weird job. At the time I was 15, so to me it seemed like really strange. About the worst part of the job was that every night when I went home, you go home reeking of cheese. All in all there, that job wasn't weird. I guess it fit more into the unusual category. I guess the strangest job I've heard of was a guy who I used to work with back in Virginia. And during college, he would work on evenings and weekends driving the van for the local funeral home in the evenings. And basically his job was to go around and visit the hospitals with the van and pick up the bodies of the recently deceased and bring them into the funeral home. There were some interesting stories about things associated with the death process that I really didn't know, and sometimes I think was a bit too much information. Now then, that's a few of the things that I've come across. Now, I'm sure out there in YouTube, there's so many more stories. There's people who, either you've had jobs that are weird and unusual or strange, or you know of people who have. So what I'd kind of like to do is get you to tell us what the stories are, and share them with us. So, I mean, you can either make, just a comment down below, or you can, if you'd like, attach a video response. Either way, whatever you're most comfortable with, I'd just love to get some feedback and hear some of the other things that are out there. Well, thanks a lot for listening, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.